Hi guys. So I want to thank you guys for being here today. This is a really exciting event. I was in your seat just a few years ago, and I have a couple ideas to share with you that I'm really hoping are going to help you on the path that, as you just heard, wasn't always the prettiest path. And today I'm going to talk to you about work. So this is me. My name is Danika Patrick. I live in San Francisco. I'm 29. And no, this isn't me. I'm not a race car driver. I do share her name, but no, I don't know her. I'm also not related to her, but I do really like to drive fast sometimes. I'm actually a designer. I don't do fashion design. I don't do interior design, but I work at AT&T, and I design brand new products and services. And what that means, so as a designer, it's my whole job to listen to people, hear things that they don't know they need, that are innovative, that I can go back to AT&T and build and then bring to life for customers like you. So a good example quick is like Steve Jobs would often say, people didn't ask me for an iPhone, right? He didn't say, people say, oh, I really want an iPhone, go build that. He listened to what people were doing, watched them, and then he built the iPhone to meet their needs. So today, again, I'm going to talk to you about work. This is the activity that we do day in, day out, that you guys have to look forward to after college. Now, I'm going to talk to you in a distinction that's not your career. Right now, your guidance counselors, your teachers, friends, family are talking to you about your career. I'm going to go to college and I'm going to become an engineer. I'm going to go to school, go to medical school, I want to become a doctor. I want to go to culinary school, I want to be a chef, right? That's your career. But I'm actually going to talk to you about work. This is the thing that I spend the majority of my day doing that constitutes my career, but it's actually what I actually interact with. Now, this can be lots of things. So a lot of things about work, I think you've probably heard people say, I hate my job. What they're actually telling you is that they hate their work. It's the thing that they have to go to, that they trudge through every day, that they hate. And it might include things that aren't that much fun, like I sit in some really boring meetings. I'll be honest, you kind of fall asleep in them. Sometimes I have to sit with my boss, and he'll give me a review about how I'm performing and if I'm doing a good job. Those are things that constitute work. And so if I really look at my life, right now I get up at, let's say, 6 o'clock in the morning. I bike to the train. I take the train to Palo Alto. I work for 8-10 hours. I go back, I get on the train, and I come home. It's about 7 p.m. So I spend about 13 hours a day, 5 days a week, going to work. That, when I add it up, is about a quarter of my life. And it's really important when you're thinking about it in that scale that you have a good time and you're happy at work. So what I'm actually going to talk to you today about work isn't doom and gloom. This isn't like the drudgery that you guys have to look forward to. It's actually the happiness. It's that little bit of sunshine that comes on the other side, because if you're going to spend a quarter of your life doing it, you better be passionate. So first I'm going to talk to you a little bit about how I got here. So I went to college after school, and I really liked mathematics, so I went and got an engineering degree from Rensselaer Polytechnic, which is in upstate New York. And I went and got a job at Pratt & Whitney, which is a really big airplane manufacturer, engine manufacturer. So I worked on the GP7000. These are huge engines. I can actually stand inside of it. They run the Airbus A380. These are the new double-decker, huge airplanes that are flying internationally all over the world now. And I was really excited. This was going to be the coolest thing I've gotten to do, and I was going to work on really great things. And then I got to work. I show up on my first day, and it turns out that this is what my job looked like. I sat at a computer all day. I could go for 8 straight hours and never interact with another human being. I did CAD, I did finite element analysis, sometimes interesting, but in general I was a little bit frustrated. And I realized that no one had ever told me that's what work was. That's what I had to look forward to, and that was what my job was. That's why I went to be an engineer, right? And I freaked out. Like any normal 24-year-old about to turn 25, I had a quarter-life crisis. I really freaked out. And I quit my job. I put all my stuff in my car. I drove across the country. And on a quick side note, if you ever have the opportunity to do this, don't do it in 3 days. Spend 2 weeks. This is a great adventure that a lot of Americans get to do. Our country's amazing. Take the time to do it. So anyway, there I am, and I get in my car. First, I go through South Carolina. It turns out they still have a Confederate flag hanging. Didn't know that. I go through Oklahoma City, which is a really great city if you ever get an opportunity to go. I cross the Rio Grande. I head through Colorado and go hiking, go all the way down to the depths of Death Valley, and then I come back out and I landed here in California to go to graduate school at Stanford. And I decided to study design because when I left Pratt & Whitney, what I really wanted to do was make an impact on people. That was what I was really excited about, and I really wanted to collaborate. So I really went to college looking for something that was going to make me happy every day. And that's special. You know, I think a lot of times we choose our career path not thinking about what actually makes us happy. So I got to Stanford, and I was like really jazzed up, new opportunity, and I found the perfect thing to constitute how work was going to make me happy. And it was this concept called flow. So let me give you a quick demonstration. So who plays a sport? Yeah? Perfect. So I played soccer, and there's this moment, you know, and you have the soccer ball, and I'm about to kick it. And I can see there's like 2 opponents on my right. They're coming at me. And my teammate here is actually running towards me. And over here I've got 1 opponent, and my teammate's actually kind of running away from me. And I can, in that moment, make a choice on where I'm going to kick the ball. And if you really think about it, I don't see the sidelines. I don't see my coach. I'm not seeing my parents screaming on the sides. There's no noise. It's just the moment. And this is what you can often refer to as it being in the zone. And you know, the whole game can go by and suddenly it's over, and you don't even remember it starting. You were having so much fun. So this really cool guy named Miha Csikszentmihalyi, I practiced that, actually defines it in a more technical term called flow. And I'm going to read this to you, and this is something that really helped me when I was on my career path. Flow is the mental state of operation, so the way your brain is actually working, in which a person performing an activity, like playing soccer, is fully immersed in the feeling of energized focus. You're fully involved in the moment and enjoying the process and the activity. So actually having fun, having a good time. And you know, people find flow in lots of places. And this was really helpful for me because suddenly I knew what I was looking for. Oh, if I spend more time in flow, I'll be happier. Because what actually happens when you're in this state, which I think is really cool, it releases these little drugs into your brain, and it's actually like you're like on a high, but it's all natural, and it's all from having fun. So I went looking for places that I found flow. And for me, which is personal, and this is for me, I found that I absolutely love listening to people. Nothing makes me happier in the world. I can sit engrossed in someone else's story, ask them questions, be curious. I could sit there and talk to someone for 4 hours and just, really? 4 hours just went by? You've got to be kidding me. And I love that. So I work at AT&T, right? So this is really cool. I work at this huge corporation, and I talk to all of our customers. I don't think people sometimes get that AT&T has customers that are your age. We have customers that are like 95 years old who have like old rotary phones. We sell devices to hospitals and schools, and I get to talk to all of those customers, and then we design new products for them. Some of the people I've gotten to listen to in my opportunity, I sat down with the chief of police of San Francisco. This guy's pretty cool, and he uses a BlackBerry, by the way. I don't know. And I got to ask him really great questions like, you know, when there was the Monday Night Football blackout, how did you guys use your cell phones around San Francisco? What about during the Giants parade? You know, how do you guys use your phones? And then I take all those insights and I go back to AT&T and I help design new products to make their jobs more efficient and more effective so we can keep the city safer. Another opportunity I got was we went to a hospital and all the doctors were carrying around iPads. And I followed them around all day with my notebook and videotaping them. And I saw really distinctly, there were times when they were with a patient that the iPad was really helpful. And then there were times that they would put it away because it actually got in the way of them interacting with the patient. And that was something that I went back to AT&T and had to, you know, kind of wake them up to when it's great and when it's not. And I don't know if you guys just noticed, but I got really excited sharing with you guys about this because people's stories and conveying them, it's my passion. It makes me happy. It's what I get to spend my days doing. And someone who I absolutely love designing for is, you know, this generation. You know, so how many of you guys, your parents yell at you for using your cell phone at the dinner table? Yeah, that's happened. What about, they say, why don't you turn off your computer and go outside and play? Yeah? I don't know why parents keep saying this. One of our projects that we did, I went out and talked to teenagers, and you guys incredibly blow me away. You guys are so connected with your friends. You're so connected with your family, your cousins in other cities. You know, when you guys go to college, you guys are going to go to New York and Florida, and you're going to come stay in California, and you're not going to lose touch with each other. When I went to college, I didn't have that opportunity. I didn't have any way to stay in contact. I was going to do sit on my phone in my room and tied to the wall and talk to them. Your parents didn't get to do that. Your grandparents absolutely didn't get to do that. And when I go into AT&T, I like to remind them that this generation is going to have more love, more connectivity in your lives than any generation before us. So one of the projects that I got to do at AT&T was this really not so cool guy comes in his 3-piece suit and his shiny black shoes, and he goes, "Danika, video is hot. We need some really cool video products." And I go, "Really?" He's like, "Yeah, can you go figure out what we should build that's innovative in video?" And I looked at him and I said, "Okay, I'll go out and talk to our customers and I'll come back and tell you." Great, go find video. So I went out and I spent time with everyone here. And of all the things, I know every single one of you has your cell phone in your pocket. What's the one thing on your phone that you cannot live without? Is it text messaging? Absolutely. So I go back into AT&T, and I sit with this 3-piece suit, and you know what I was? I was your voice. I was the voice of the people on the other end of the phone who use our customers and use our service every day, who time and time again go, when it's important, I text. When it's relevant and important to how I'm living my life, I choose text message. And now AT&T is actually developing a whole new text messaging suite that we'll be releasing next year that's going to be absolutely incredible to help you guys do what you do, which is stay connected with people in your life you care about. And I love that. I'm really passionate about that. So throughout this whole story, right, so now I go back to my story of happy and passion. What I really wanted to share with you guys today is, there are people in your lives who you might kind of rely on to help you be happy. But it's not their responsibility. Really, it's not. It's not up to your parents. They're not responsible for making you happy. It's not up to your teachers. Absolutely not responsible to make you happy. It's not going to be up to your boss. My boss doesn't follow me around all day and go, "Danika, oh, you look like you're happy right now. You should spend more time doing that." He's not going to do that, right? Now, all these people in my life really care about me, and they really want me to be happy. But in general, it's totally up to you. If you actually don't spend the time to research what makes you happy every day and find flow, then you don't know what to add into your life. If you let's say you like being creative, you like arts, and your parents might say to you, "What are you going to do with that? You should go to school for something more appropriate, right? More serious." And I really like the arts. I work in a very serious job in a very giant corporation. I'm artistic every day. Right? I get to find ways to be creative and expressive. And I really like, just the things that you love to do, you just go and you bake them in. And we just heard from a lot of people today who shared with you about what they love. And they found it. Some of them through whim, like David said, he just stumbled upon history, right? He just stumbled upon it and he found out that he really enjoyed it. And we heard about biking and being a public speaker, All of these things are fantastic places to find flow. And you guys should really spend the time to diligently search out the things that make you happy, and when you find them, grab onto them, and then bake it in. And to be super honest, right, my life isn't perfect. Sometimes I have to sit in a really boring meeting still, or I get to file expense reports. This is the worst thing you're going to have to deal with when you get older, but you're going to have to do it just like I do. They're laughing. But it's really great. So just the last thing I wanted to share with you guys is a little bit about what else we get to do at the AT&T Foundry. This is, again, our innovation center in Palo Alto. I get to work on really great multidisciplinary teams because, again, I told you, and I found out that was what I wanted. And I found that. These people are everything from developers and coders to designers like me. We work with marketing people, sales people, finance people. We get together on these teams and we design products and we listen to customers and then we build prototypes, we take them out to the market. This is what we get to do. It's so great. We also work on things like the brand new 4G LTE network. what new experiences can we bring on that? What new devices are coming out? What's that going to change in the market? You know, looking at the new Windows Phone, you know, RIM, are they actually going to come back? I'm not sure. Probably, no, I'm not going to say anything. But it's fun, and I really get to do it, and I really love it. Something else we get to do is we throw hackathons once a month. So AT&T gives away $20,000, a whole bunch of devices, and people come for an entire day and sit in a room. And so at 7 p.m. on a Friday, we give out a concept like, okay, build education applications, or this week it's going to be healthcare, or let's do don't text and drive, whatever those themes are. And people come in and they pack in. This is in Las Vegas, that's in Palo Alto, and you can't believe the flow in this room, right? Like people just like staying up all night, eating pizza, drinking Red Bull, building things that work. This group here, they're working on an education application, and this was the moment. They like picked up the iPad, it's like 30 minutes before the presentation. They've been up all night long, and they click and it works. And they just light up. This was their life for the last 24 hours, and they had so much fun, and they walked away with $20,000. And then at a hackathon in LA, we had an 11-year-old win. She had such a good idea. She walked around the whole entire place, talking to people 3-4 times her age, going, I have this great idea, help me build it. And people were so excited about working with her, they jumped on board, they built it, they won $20,000, and are actually working with us to bring it to market. And that's passion and that's flow. So, you know, find it, go look for it. You know, be happy, because then you'll be more productive and you'll make a bigger impact. And, you know, have fun, because that's all that really matters. Thanks.